Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 My Team Career Mode. Today we are doing episode number 12 of season 1 for the Italian Grand Prix. But yes, first of all, if you have not yet subscribed, then please do so. We are so close to 250. We're on 249 subscribers at the time of recording. So if you have not yet subscribed, then please do. It massively helps me out. It's the big red button under the video and I massively appreciate it. But yes, anyway, stepping away from that, looking at R&D and the facilities. The facilities mainly, we're getting sort of like facilities of upgrade, but I feel like though we could do with some more R&D points, so I thought we'd go for that one. We could probably work for a fabrication upgrade maybe in a couple of updates time. I'm not really focused on powertrain that much because the powertrain is one of the strongest parts, and also we've just opened that up with purchasing one upgrade. That's the way the HQs work really. Unfortunately, our tyre wear upgrade that we had as a minor tyre upgrade has failed, so that's going to have to be repurchased as well. So that's something to bear in mind also. Which is why we need better facilities really, is because of all these failures really. We haven't had a failure in a while really, but nevertheless we haven't really had an upgrade in a while either, so oh dear, it's going to be raining for the race. Yeah, rumours about obviously we won't see next year's regulations until next year's next year's game obviously, because that's the way this series is going to work. So you have to wait until next year to see the 17th episode. Well, no, it isn't the 17th episode because we had 5 episodes. I can't remember. So this will be it will be the 21st episode, 22nd episode, sorry, next year. My team. But yeah, there was the R&D stuff with Ferrari. Obviously they've been hit because we're only in season 1. There's not too much of a hit for them, so compared to where we were in Driver Career Mode, where we created that little story arc that they do, that they got caught cheating, which I'm not going to do twice. I think just doing it once. And also this career mode has less viewers than the driver career mode as well. But anyway, so yes, we've moved above the Alfa Romeo and Haas teams as well, where we were level with them at some points throughout the season, so that is definitely a boost for us. As we're going into qualifying, great move out of the Lesbos into Ascari now, 4 tenths up into the second part of Ascari, losing a little bit of time there on the second exit there. Half a tenth actually. That's not the best exit really that we were looking for compared to our previous time. But going into Parabolica, can we blame all of that time back? Yes, we can. Almost all of it. Almost 4 tenths up is going to be almost 4, exactly 4. Well, close to 4 tenths up, and it's enough to actually get us out of Q1 for the first time in a couple of races as well, which is good. But I used a lot of tyres to get into Q2, so we've only got the 1 spare set left, unfortunately. So we're going to go out right at the end of the session anyway. There's no really point just sitting about and waiting for anything. Do the 1 run. There's nobody in track as well because we've timed our run to be like a couple of seconds, not exactly a couple of seconds, but it's going to be enough P15 actually, so which is probably where the car is, considering the fact we're now ahead of Alfa Romeo and Haas. Both Ferraris, you notice, in the top 10 ahead of the McLarens and the Renaults and Sergio Perez actually, so that's definitely something to look out for. 15th place on the grid. It's time for the wet race.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Verstappen, Sainz, Lance Stroll and Gasly, Leclerc, Ocon, Vettel and Lando Norris, Perez, Ricciardo, Daniel Kvyat and the owner driver. Giovinazzi, Albon, they've taken a grid penalty, Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean, Raikkonen, Russell, De Vries and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
No, Jeff, we're in the wet. We're slow in the wet, so that's not going to happen. Interesting though that Albon is behind us though in the Red Bull with a penalty, so we'll see if we can stay ahead of him or not in the race. As far lights come on, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. And oh dear, the visibility is poor. We've had initially a poor getaway again, as usual in the rain. We're going to swipe across Giovinazzi. Trying to find some space into turn one. Careful not to lose any damage. We were lucky against the back of Lando Norris. It's just really nowhere to go. We have to squeeze out the AlphaTauri of Kvyat, and we move up into what is P13. Is Kvyat now? Sure is going to have a go at the end of the first sector here on lap one as Kvyat. Virtual safety car. I didn't feel any contact there. And where's the contact? Oh, there is no contact. He just loses it into the wall. He was lucky actually not to collect any of the, especially Albon as well, who was going on the outside. They were so lucky that nobody, just Albon. Sorry, just Kvyat got collected there. That was lucky. And only brought out a virtual safety car as well, just to show you that the irregularity of the safety car in the F1 2020 game, where in driver career mode we've seen a lot of it, and in this career mode we haven't actually seen it at all. We just had virtual safety cars. As that Albon now is all over the back of us. He's cleared Magnussen and is up into P14. So he's looking to make the overtake on us. As out of the Lesbos corners, as we look now at Pierre Gasly. This is lap 3, and well, he's in the top 10, which is where you'd expect Gasly to be, but unfortunately his car has broken down. I can't tell if it's an engine failure or not because of the spray, but he is out of the race. Both AlphaTauris are out within 3 laps. So the Italian team, it's not gone well for them at the home Grand Prix. Kvyat smashing it into the wall, and now Gasly's engine has given up. So we jump later on lap 3 now. Gasly's retirement didn't bring out anything at all, other than the solitary yellow flag as Albon looks to the outside of us as the parabolica. We're going to squeeze him out. He has to brake, which allows Magnussen to get back in front of him as well. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't just waited. I think they just need to have patience. It was a silly move, and he actually loses out to Giovinazzi as well in the end, and they're going 3 wide now. This is a couple of laps later. 3 wide with between Magnussen and Giovinazzi, but Albon gets squished out. Lucky that Grosjean was fast asleep there, otherwise he'd be able to. As this is Daniel Ricciardo who's catching up to Sebastian Vettel, and Ricciardo's lost it and he's out now, and Norris has been caught as well and he's got front wing damage. It's just front wings everywhere. As we go into turn 1, we've moved up into P11, but surely that, and now there is a safety car to clear up all the damage. It's too early for us to make a pit stop as we resume later on lap 9. We've got Giovinazzi and Albon all over the back of us. We're going to make a dive bomb down the inside of Ocon and Vettel and move up into the points into P7. I mean, if it wasn't for the safety car, we would have been out of the points, but the safety cars bunched the pack up and everybody's not really moving. They're going far too slowly into the hairpin. and we are able to take advantage as Vettel now clears Ocon as well, follows us through. Although Ocon is going to come back at Vettel into Ascari. I'm sure that Tifosi won't like that, but Vettel is being able to keep it on the outside. We've got Giovinazzi there, who's still ahead of Albon as well. Magnussen's fallen behind. I think both Haas are trying the 2-stop actually, as Vettel now sets his sights on trying to overtake myself. This there through the approach to the Lesbos one at the end of turn, the sector 1, but nothing to do in there. And the end of lap 14, we've gone a lap longer than our strategy because of the safety car. We're coming in the same time as Ocon. I feel Vettel, who came a lap earlier, will probably undercut us. I'm also not sure about Verstappen because he might be doing a 2-stop and he might try and overcut us on that 2-stop. 3-second stop, and it's an unsafe release as well. Our AI actually had to avoid, we literally ghosting inside Ocon at that point. As George Russell had to double stack again. They really need unsafe releases there. That's actually the most of the unsafe release I think we've ever had on an F1 game, because literally the outline of my car was literally only like a millimetres ahead of Ocon, as Lando Norris, who's done a 2-stop because he had that wind damage, he's come out just behind Albon, who's now ahead of Ocon. So Ocon's gone backwards in this race, although in my view Ocon in real life is overrated personally, compared to the drivers Renault could have. He's their third choice for me, but nevertheless, as Lando Norris now has got ahead of Ocon, and now he's going ahead of Albon. Although Albon's not going to give up, he's going to go round the outside here. He's not going to lose it like Ricciardo and Kvyat has done, and down into the braking zone. Norris is going to have the better line as Albon takes the left-hand curve. Norris is going to move into the point. Somebody, I think one of the Haas cars, I think it was Magnussen, went very long on their second set of inters, but finally ran out of patience of trying to get points. Although, to be fair, they could have got points because they did have the pace. The Alfa Romeos of Giovinazzi aren't quite fair enough. But Norris now and Ocon both ahead of Albon, so he's not going to be scoring points. Norris goes down the inside into Parabolica. We're going to try and hold it around the outside. A little bit of wheel banging there, but this is going to be the whoever has the best straight line speed. Bearing in mind we've got the same engine at the back of that, and we use the DRS. We're going to brake slightly later. We've got the racing line being just cut across him into turn 1 and retain what is P9. And it's going to be P9 on lap 27 as well. Norris just really fending off Ocon as well. We take a tighter line into Parabolica, gives us a tighter exit to avoid Norris getting the better run out there. And across the line, it's points again. It's 9th place, and a very good result for us considering the fact that where we were we weren't really on for points in the first place. Sergio Perez gets driver of the day. As usual, it's a Mercedes that wins. They've won now all 12 races in this series, which is getting boring. Thankfully, in real life, it's not quite like that. Perez has a good result as well. McLaren as well. Carlos Sainz. He was really holding on against the racing points by the looks of it in the end, and Vettel didn't really have any pace for Verstappen, who did that. He did overcut us with that 2-stop. Albon could have had more, but his pace really wasn't there. He got stuck behind myself and then the likes of McLaren, of Norris, and then Ocon. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, because Sainz of course got that podium, we dropped at P10, but I'm not really fussed about the drivers, to be honest. I would like to see George Russell score a point though before the end of the season. That's obviously going to be a big factor going into season 2 next year, if he actually retains, if he's in the game, that is, in next year's game. If not, then we'll have to look elsewhere. I think though that because AlphaTauri, though, we do gain points on AlphaTauri, which is good. So I think we can hold on to 7th. Catching McLaren is not going to happen anymore because they're just too good for us now. So 7th place is.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
I first of all apologise also for the horrid colour scheme. Not my design. But yes, great team without us, good car.
How do you think this team will be feeling after that result?
Well, they only made it to lap 3, so we'll not make a comment. Yeah, again, there needs to be a whole load of customization, because that lorry and whatever that thing is, I don't know, hospitality dispute, whatever it is just a big eyesore. But anyway, glossing over that, we've now got 2 million left. We've got a little bit of time as well, so we'll probably save that 2 million and go for the fabrication on the aero side, and then we'll have both Sashi and aero onto level 1. Obviously there's a bit more time between, a bit more money rather required for the next level, so we'll probably not have that. So that's probably where the foundation is, probably spend them extra money on the engine side. And speaking of the engine side, we're going to go for an major engine power upgrade. That's going to put us ahead of a load of teams as well. So that's how tight the engine performance index is. So yes, I think we can do that. On the Sashi side, we'll probably also go for a major weight redistribution upgrade as well. And then maybe on the aero side as well, we'll probably work on those 2 major upgrades. And that'll probably see us to the end of the season, really. As Alfa Romeo as well are closing in as well, so we do need to get those upgrades. We haven't had an upgrade since Hungary, so we need to get those upgrades on the car as soon as possible. Of course, we do have a little bit of time between now and the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll have that ridiculous three-day break as well. We've got plenty of engines available as well. So yes, but that's where we're going to leave it today. If you have enjoyed, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you see more episodes of the F1 2020 My Team career. We've only got 4 episodes left, which will be coming out every Thursday at 7 PM on the channel. Until the next VR6 time, take care, thank you so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.